Live from Fox 13 Studios, this is Fox 13 News at 9.
The number of coronavirus cases in the United States is rising. There are now more than 21,000 confirmed cases and at least 266 deaths.
Meanwhile, doctors in two of the country's largest cities are changing their testing strategy. And as Melissa Rainey shows us, the president's coronavirus task force is backing that shift.
The number of coronavirus cases climbing as tens of thousands of people have been tested. And now some doctors are signaling a shift in their testing strategy.
Not every single person in the United States needs to get tested.
Health officials in New York City and Los Angeles are recommending doctors avoid testing patients, except in cases where the result would significantly change treatment.
When you go in and get tested, you are consuming personal protective equipment, masks and gowns.
This comes as healthcare workers are sounding the alarm, saying medical supplies like masks and gloves are starting to run out.
We absolutely feel like we are in this alone as doctors, nurses, paramedics, and even hospitals.
The White House Coronavirus Task Force says those much-needed supplies are on the way.
HHS just placed an order for hundreds of millions of N95 masks that will be being made available to healthcare providers across the country.
Meanwhile, President Trump urging Americans to heed warnings from federal health officials to slow the spread of coronavirus.
Every American has a role to play in defending our nation from this invisible, horrible enemy.
On Saturday, more than 1/5 of Americans were under orders to stay home. That's about 75 million people in Connecticut, Illinois, New York, and California, where authorities say only essential workers are allowed away from home.
Stay at home and save lives. This is a time of shared national sacrifice, but
I'm Melissa Rainey reporting.
Gas prices continue to drop across the U.S., but fewer people are traveling. 19 states now have gas prices averages that are less than $2 per gallon. Now, Utah is at $2.45, but the national average price for gas is $2.15. That's 40 cents cheaper than this time a year ago, according to AAA. Predictions are that prices at the pump will drop another 40 to 70 cents per gallon in just the next month or two.
Amazon employees struggling to fulfill orders of people in home isolation. They will get a temporary pay raise. Warehouse workers who put in overtime will get twice their hourly rate. That's instead of the company's usual time-and-a-half policy. The change is scheduled to run until May 9th at least. Amazon also raising wages by $2 an hour at least into April.
Netflix is creating a $100 million relief fund for TV and film workers who are unemployed due to coronavirus. Netflix says almost all movie and television productions have stopped globally, and that has more than 100,000 crew members out of work. Netflix says most of the money will go toward helping them make ends meet. Some of it will go toward other nonprofit organizations with similar goals.
Coming up, the 2020 election year being disrupted by the coronavirus. We'll take a closer look at how the pandemic could drastically change Election Day later this year.
And our weekend weather looks to get disrupted as we look for tomorrow, though. Your outdoor play forecast, green light all across the state. It's going to be dry. We see sunny skies, but take advantage of it because we're going to see some big changes for the upcoming week. We'll show you that 7-day forecast in just a few minutes.
Join Bob Evans, weeknights on Fox 13 News at 9.
You met on an app. Delete it.
Why?
He's the one. Gesundheit. I see something else. A star with 3 points. You're in a Mercedes.
Yeah, we wish.
Wish granted. With 4 4MATIC models starting under $40,000, there could be a Mercedes-Benz in your very near future at the spring event. Lease the GLB 250 4MATIC SUV for just $419 a month at your local Mercedes-Benz dealer.
It's gonna be okay.
Victory is greatest when you've met defeat. Let's conquer.
I'll take it.
All right. Hold tight. Meet me right at my desk, right?
The old man's gonna show you how to cut a deal.
All right, you guys ready to do some paperwork?
Yeah.
Not until you throw in the Carefree scheduled maintenance. 2 years of it.
Oh, that's standard.
Smartphone integration.
Yeah, also standard.
And she wants all of this for basically just her signature.
So basically, sign, then drive?
Yeah.
Volkswagen's list of standard features goes on and on, but this event won't. Hurry in during the not-so-standard spring event, and you can lease a new 2020 Jetta. 0 down, 0 deposit, 0 first month's payment, and 0 to its signing. Practically just sign, then drive.
There are a lot of shades of eyeshadow.
Do you have Shadow of the Moon Plum?
A seemingly endless number of ice cream flavors.
I'll go with French Lavender Swirl.
And an overwhelming amount of movies to watch.
Let's get The Princess and the Flea.
Just like there are countless ways to have fun with your kids.
We're going to do cut crease eyes today. Ready?
When you spend time in your child's world, they'll listen when you talk from yours. Learn more at parentsempowered.org.
Toyota trucks are built to last. You work, you play, you practically live your whole life in them, and they still maintain their value. In fact, Tacoma is #1, Tundra #2, and 4Runner is #3 overall in KBB resale value. Toyota is the best KBB resale value brand, period. Right now, lease a tough, new 2019 Toyota Tacoma for just $269 per month. America's best-selling midsize pickup for the last 10 years. Find your Toyota at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Schools, the economy, and now our democracy. The coronavirus pandemic uprooting nearly all aspects of our lives. So far, 4 states have postponed elections, including Ohio and Kentucky this past week. Amanda Brandeis looks at how the pandemic could reshape how we vote come November.
It's so important that you get out there and make your voice heard.
Ali Abu-Khader spends a lot more time thinking about elections than the average college graduate.
Oh, the ultimate importance. Voting is your voice.
On Super Tuesday, he volunteered to monitor polls at churches and rec centers throughout Southern California. Those places now shut down to stop the spread of COVID-19.
As I guess the fear of coronavirus kind of heightens, it's important that other states and counties here in California consider more vote by mail, making voting a little bit more accessible.
I think for a lot of our registrars and election officials, they have been through some processes where they're planning for emergencies. COVID-19 is adding a whole nother layer.
Kathy Fung is executive director of California Common Cause, a nonpartisan organization dedicated to making voting more accessible. With 30 states in the network, their election protection hotline is being flooded with calls.
State by state, one of the biggest questions is going to be, what are my alternatives?
A newly proposed bill in Congress would give all Americans the right to vote by mail if 25% of states declared an emergency related to the coronavirus. It would provide $500 million to fund the vote by mail efforts. But making that change quickly won't be easy.
If states want to turn more to mail-in by the fall, they have to do an aggressive campaign and put the money into it to be sure everybody gets one, and then you remind them to send them back in.
Political science professor Carl Luna believes Congress should funnel money into dealing with these issues, just as it is into the economy.
Elections have to happen. Congress could postpone the November election, but by January 20th, the president under the Constitution is out of office, and you need to have a replacement in place.
If the general is postponed, it would be a first in American history.
If we could do it during the Civil War, we could do it now. We just need the resolve and the funding to do it.
Until then, voting advocates like Ali remain committed to helping Americans navigate the uncharted road ahead. Reporting in San Diego, I'm Amanda Brandeis.
Still ahead, he was one of the greatest country singers of all time. See how the late Kenny Rogers is being honored this weekend.
And later in sports, a Jazz beat writer gives her take on the future of the NBA this season. Plus, could the Olympics be in jeopardy? And Taysom Hill supporting a local barbecue joint. Back in a bit.
Give the people what they want. Monday at 10 a.m. on Fox 13.
911, what's your emergency?
This is not how I wanted our first date to go.
It can only get better from here, right?
We're gonna need to start.
911, all new, Monday at 8, 7 Central on Fox.
Coming together makes us stronger. And Ford is built to lend a hand with 6-month payment relief. We'll defer 3 payments and make 3 payments. You have a lot to take care of. Let us help take care of you.
And done.
When we face adversity, we find a way through it. It's about taking care of each other. It's the small parts that make a big difference. At Chevy, we promise to do ours. We're offering Chevy owners complimentary OnStar Crisis Assist services and Wi-Fi data. If you need a new Chevy, interest-free financing for 84 months with deferred payments for 120 days on many of our most popular models. You may even shop online and take delivery at home. It's just our way of doing our part.
The new iMart Express is now open in Spanish Fork. 2 pairs start at $38.71 and 2 pairs with progressive lenses just $76.92. For the best value in eyewear, come to iMart Express.
Right glasses.
Right price.
Right now.
Coming together makes us stronger. And Ford is built to lend a hand with 6-month payment relief. We'll defer 3 payments and make 3 payments. You have a lot to take care of. Let us help take care of you.
I love him with all my heart. My heart's broken, and a big old chunk of it has gone with him today. And I think that I can speak for all his family, his friends and fans when I say that I will always love you.
Well, a tough one for the music world and the music community. Legendary country singer Dolly Parton honoring her dear friend Kenny Rogers this weekend. He passed away late last night from natural causes at home surrounded by family. The Grammy Award winner, known for songs like The Gambler, Lady, and Islands in the Stream. He had 24 #1 hits, and he had been voted the favorite singer of all time in a joint poll by readers of both USA Today and People. Kenny Rogers was 81 years old.
With movie theaters closed, our Steve Oldfield has some ideas for what to watch at home. He shares his list of favorite films, starting with The Pianist, one that will make you feel a little bit better about being stuck at home.
If you're starting to feel sorry for yourself because you're stuck inside your house, imagine what it was like for Jews hiding from the Nazis during the Holocaust. Adrian Brody plays a virtuoso hiding out. It's a triumph of the human spirit kind of movie that'll also make you grateful, even in these times.
Send you here for life?
Maybe the ultimate movie about confinement is one of my other favorite films, The Shawshank Redemption. Morgan Freeman and Tim Robbins. If you're a parent and haven't shared this with your teenagers yet, now is the time to make a special family memory. Morgan also does a great job in one of my other favorite movies. It's based on true events in South Africa, The Power of One. It's a boxing movie that is every bit as inspiring as Rocky, with a great message too. It also features Stephen Dorff and one of my favorite actors of all time, Armin Mueller-Stahl.
I came to America in 1914.
Armin's also in one of my other favorites, Avalon, as a grandpa telling stories about coming from the old country as we watch America move to the suburbs. You'll also enjoy seeing a young Elijah Wood.
Come on, move.
Now, if you're passing the time playing chess, check out Searching for Bobby Fischer, a fun film for the whole family.
Mort Guffman is going to come from New York City and see our show.
And if you're thinking about putting on a show to amuse loved ones, Waiting for Guffman is a hilarious look at a small-town production. If I could only have one comedy in my collection, this would be it.
Non ci devi venire.
And finally, my favorite film of all time about a boy without a dad and his mentor, a guy who works the projector at the Cinema Paradiso. That's the title of this Italian masterpiece. It's funny and heartwarming with some innocent romance and young love. It's pretty much the perfect movie and one that I've seen more than a dozen times. Don't be scared of the subtitles. The actors are so expressive, you don't even need to read them to know what's going on. This film reminds us how connections between the people we love are the most important thing in life, and how those memories can be treasured for a lifetime. Steve Oldfield, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Motors both shutting down production until at least the end of March. That's to protect workers, of course. Both companies anticipate a drop in demand. Fox 13's Brian Champagne checked out one from each company that you can still get.
Spring mud. Many crossovers, like the Blazer we borrowed from Chevrolet, can handle it. And most SUVs, like the GX460 we borrowed from Lexus. Neither could get up the muddy side of this basic hill. You can dial in your plans to the Blazer, but the Lexus can completely control your speed off-road. The rocky side was not a problem for either. The rocky road was not a problem for either. Horsepower is about the same for both. Lexus is way ahead in hill climbing torque. Amenities for the two are in the same ballpark, so you're paying that extra premium for the GX's extra power and off-road capabilities. But since the Blazer doubled the GX in sales last year, looks like most of you just want to keep it clean. So it's Chevy power tailgate versus Lexus power fold-down seats, Lexus video screens versus Blazer cargo fence. But it's kind of old versus new. The Blazer came out last year. Its radar brings you to a full stop, but the lane radar still needs you to steer. It will shut off the engine at red lights to save gas, but gives you remote start so you can waste it. The Lexus hasn't had a major redo since 2009. The major new thing outside this year is the grille. And underneath, better off-road systems. Things you'll need where we drove it, but not where most people do. Brian Champagne, Fox 13's Car Critic.
Well, you saw earlier in the newscast the line of people waiting to get on to Antelope Island to enjoy a beautiful day. Tomorrow, Breck, statewide, maybe the best day of the week to get outside.
Oh, I would agree. If we look over the next 7 days and where we're going, it is ideal in that we're going to see plenty of sunshine, warmer temperatures, actually afternoon highs getting above normal. Then the big changes hit. Right now in Salt Lake City, still hanging on to a few clouds. These clouds will be pushing away. As we wake up tomorrow morning, we're seeing a lot of sunshine. Now, long range, as we look from the Climate Prediction Center, we're going to be seeing temperatures well below normal. As we look, especially as we go out anywhere between 6 to 10 days, where starting off in March, we actually found most days above normal, but we're quickly changing that. And as it is spring in Utah, we can definitely see a wintry mix back into the forecast. But for Sunday, as promised, looks to be mild, as we're going to be holding on just maybe a slight chance of an isolated mountain showers, bigger storms on the way. And we're not talking just one storm, 3 storms as we look going from Monday all the way until next weekend. Now, we're going to see a temperature drop, as I showed you. And yes, temperatures will get cold enough for a brief period of time. We could see some valley snow. Now, no concerns, as I mentioned, overnight. We've been seeing a few showers across northern Utah, those showers dissipating. Wider view where we've been talking about this storm system as it is off the California coast, moving onshore come tomorrow, and then the trajectory moving through initially southern Utah Monday morning and then pushing northern Utah come Monday afternoon. Now, let's take a look at the long-range computer models next several days. Here, looking at here this afternoon into tonight. Again, for tomorrow, nothing really going on. We're under a nice westerly flow, which will keep temperatures above normal. Then that storm moving on the California coast. As you can see, it looks ominous. A lot of moisture. It tracks through, just enveloping the state as we go into Monday early afternoon into the evening. And coming in from the south, it's rain in the valley, snow in the mountains. Now we'll keep moisture around Tuesday and Wednesday across northern Utah. It's Wednesday, especially as we go Wednesday night through Thursday morning. You're seeing a lot of blue. colder air begins to push through, keeping a possibility of some snow going. And for Thursday morning commute, could be a little slushy there, especially if you're traveling through the canyon areas. Once we get past Thursday, we get a break on Friday, but then some more showers potentially moving through as we head into the weekend on Saturday, at least for northern Utah. Southern Utah, you'll be in the clear. So that's the good news there. So we'll see some improvements as we go. But again, for tomorrow, we're going to keep things clear. And then those storms beginning to move in on Monday. We'll see more widespread precipitation. So as you look at your forecast then, for tonight, we're going to be looking at overnight lows dipping down into the 30s, 20s in Logan and Park City, low 30s in Price. Partly cloudy skies tomorrow. We're in the mid to upper 50s across northern Utah, even 50s through eastern Utah, low 60s in St. George. And for the Dixie area, the rain hits on Monday. Break Tuesday, Wednesday, seeing some clouds. Some rain on Thursday, and then heading into the weekend, looks like low 60s. So if you're making any plans, again, it's tough to make any plans, but going into the outdoors for St. George next weekend should be fine. Now, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's rain across northern Utah. Rain changing into snow, where we can see a mixture of rain and snow on Thursday. We're down into the 40s. And then next weekend, again, the model showing that we could see some rain showers. All in all, temperatures look to be below normal once we get to the middle of the week. But the warmest day of the week, and with plenty of sunshine, it's hitting tomorrow.
All of the journalists who were in Oklahoma City 10 days ago with the Jazz remain in quarantine, and that includes Jazz beat writer Sarah Todd, who has a few days left in isolation. We spoke to Todd this weekend as she offered up her bleak thoughts on us seeing any basketball again anytime soon.
Yeah, the NBA originally said that they were on a 30-day hiatus, and I think that that is wildly optimistic. Not long after that, the CDC came out and banned gatherings of 50 people or more for at least 8 weeks. So that goes beyond the 30 days already. And if we're talking about 50 people or less, you know, you've got 17 players, a group of coaching staff, medical staff, training staff, plus if there's any broadcasters there, referees, you're going to get past 50 without even adding a second team pretty quickly. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver has said things like, you know, they could, you know, somehow look at a shortened season or an abbreviated version of the playoffs, but we really don't know where this virus is going from here. Right now, things are feeling like they're ramping up rather than slowing down. And so, and there's so many moving parts to an NBA season if you're moving it.
At this point, the Summer Games in Tokyo are still set to get underway just 4 months from now. The USA Track and Field and USA Swimming have both come out this week publicly calling for Olympic officials to step up and cancel the event. U.S. gymnast Sam Mikulik, for example, is among those wanting to see it happen sooner rather than later.
I just want to take a stance of saying things need to get postponed because nothing's fair, nothing's equal. We need everyone to take this time, you know, put this behind us before we can actually take the necessary steps to prepare for a big competition like our trials or the Olympic Games.
NFL news, the Southern Utah product Miles Killebrew has re-signed with the Lions. The safety-turned-linebacker was drafted by Detroit back in 2016, keeping him in the Motor City for the foreseeable future, though terms of that agreement were not disclosed. The Raiders continue to try and bolster their roster ahead of the club's move to Las Vegas, acquiring wideout Nelson Aguilar. Aguilar won a Super Bowl in Philly and hauled in 18 touchdown balls over 5 seasons with the Eagles. The deal is for 1 year. They also signed tight end Nick O'Leary from Jacksonville. As for the restricted free agent Taysom Hill, he's still trying to figure out his NFL future, but in the meantime, Hill was caught in Orem trying to support local eateries at a tough time. Taysom pulling through the drive-thru at Bam Bam's Barbecue. We'll be right back.
Everything in our garage is inspired by our racing spirit. Race in for a great deal on the Honda Passport, only at the Honda Dream Garage Spring Event.
Ever since we opened Culver's, community has meant the world to us, especially in times like these when the going gets tough. That's why we're keeping our drive-thrus open, continuing to cook every meal to order as if you were a guest in our home. We want to be here for you, today and every day, sharing our smile and safely serving with all our heart. Caring for you and your family, it's our pleasure. Together, we'll get through this.
When we face adversity, we find a way through it. It's about taking care of each other. It's the small parts that make a big difference. At Chevy, we promise to do ours. We're offering Chevy owners complimentary OnStar Crisis Assist services and Wi-Fi data. If you need a new Chevy, interest-free financing for 84 months with deferred payments for 120 days on many of our most popular models. You may even shop online and take delivery at home. It's just our way of doing our part.
Nothing is more important than family, especially in uncertain times. In response to the recent world events, we're taking steps to protect our family with Hyundai Assurance. When you buy or lease a new Hyundai between now and April 30th, we'll cover your payments for up to 6 months in the event you lose your job this year due to COVID-19. Plus, 0% APR financing to well-qualified buyers on select vehicles with deferred payments for 3 months. Hyundai Assurance, because making things better for your family is our first priority.
People come to us all the time saying my neighbor has the greenest lawn on the block and he uses the IFA 4-step program. Our fertilizer is formulated locally in our area to grow stronger, thicker turf. Our 4 steps will take care of your lawn all year because you're using the right fertilizer at the right time. We can give you the best looking lawn in your neighborhood.
Save water with IFA's premium 4-step plus lawn care program. Take a step up. IFA Country Stores, helping to grow the things you love.
Everything in our garage is inspired by our racing spirit. Race in for a great deal on the Honda Civic Sedan, only at the Honda Dream Garage Spring Event.
Catch Booming Forward on Fox 13's Live at 4.
The problem with hanging on to the past is when you're always looking back, you can't see what's coming. Forward collision warning with emergency braking assist. Standard on Sportage, Telluride, Sorento SX, and Seltos SX. Part of Kia's tough and ready lineup of SUVs. Right now, lease the 2020 Sportage LX all-wheel drive for $199 a month or get 0% APR for 66 months.
This is Fox 13 News.
All right, Breck, Brian, listen up, because if you guys are looking for something to do...
I did not know this was a thing.
It is a thing, so here's your new hobby, and here's your suggestion for it. Try quilting.
I can barely tie my shoes some days. How am I going to do this?
Okay, well, today is not National Tie Your Shoes Day. It happens to be National Quilting Day.
All right.
Quilting can be done with the help of a sewing machine, although the intricate patterns are often still laid out, cut, and stitched by hand. Now, what makes a quilt different from a blanket, boys?
I don't know.
Okay, well, I'll tell you.
It's stitched differently?
Okay, well, besides the patterns, quilts are made by sewing a layer of batting between the 2 pieces of gloss. So the more you know, guys.
That was a good lesson.
Now
I'm going to take
know.
up quilting. Thanks for watching Fox 13 News at 9.
Quick cast up next.